Welcome back, my friends. It is good to share this moment with you. Look at this little one beside me. If I stopped watering it, if I locked it in a dark closet, or if I stood over it every day shouting, "Why aren't you growing faster? Why aren't you as tall as the tree outside?" What do you suppose would happen? It would wither. It would curl in on itself. It would give up. And yet, this is exactly what so many of us do to ourselves every single day. We deprive ourselves of rest. We hide from the light of joy, and we speak to ourselves with a harshness we would never inflict on a friend. Today, I want to offer you a different perspective, a softer way to exist. I want you to imagine that you are your own little plant. You need to water yourself, speak to yourself nicely, and give yourself time to bloom. Years ago, when I was a young novice in the monastery, I was put in charge of the vegetable garden. I wanted to impress my teachers, so I worked from before dawn until after dusk. I carried heavy buckets, I pulled weeds under the scorching sun, and I barely stopped to eat or drink. I made sure every tomato plant was perfect. But as the garden flourished, I began to fade. My temper became short. My skin grew gray. My mind was a fog of exhaustion. One day, the head abbot found me slumped against the garden wall, criticizing myself for being too tired to finish a row of corn. He sat beside me, picked up a handful of dry earth and said, "Tenzin, you have created a paradise for these vegetables, but you have turned your own internal garden into a desert." He told me that we cannot pour from an empty cup, just as the soil cannot give life if it has no nutrients left to give. I realized then that I was treating the external world with reverence, while treating my internal world with violence. So, how do we change this? How do we become the gardener of our own souls? First, we must water ourselves. And I don't just mean drinking a glass of water, though that helps. To water yourself is to recognize your basic needs without guilt. It is the act of resting when you are tired, rather than pushing through. It is setting boundaries, which act like a fence around your garden to keep the wild animals from trampling your seedlings. But perhaps even more important than the water is the sunlight, and that is the voice you use when you speak to yourself. Scientists have done experiments where they speak kindly to plants, and those plants grow stronger and healthier. If words can change the cellular structure of a flower, imagine what your words are doing to you. When you make a mistake, do you say, "You idiot, you messed up again"? That is like pouring acid on your roots. Instead, try saying, "It is okay. You are learning. You are human." Be the gentle sun that encourages growth, not the scorching heat that burns. Finally, my friends, we must accept the seasons. This plant does not bloom all year round. It has periods of dormancy. It loses leaves. It rests. If it tried to bloom 365 days a year, it would die of exhaustion. You are no different. You are not a machine built for constant production. You are a living, breathing organism. Sometimes you are in a season of blooming full of energy, success, and color. But other times, you are in a season of winter, where you need to go quiet, go inward, and rest. Do not be angry at yourself for resting. You are not stagnant. You are gathering energy for the next bloom. So, today, I invite you to carry this thought with you. Treat yourself with the same delicate care you would give a rare, beautiful orchid. Drink your water, seek the sunlight of good company, and speak to yourself nicely. because you are worth growing. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you found peace here, consider joining our garden by hitting the like button and subscribing to this page to join me every day on this journey. Until next time, bloom gently.